lot of ways to get started squatting. What we're working to do is to take this 90-degree angle between the spine and the thigh or the femur and start to bring that angle closer or to decrease the angle. So right now it's 90 degrees here for haha. And what we want to do is start to bring his thighs or his femurs toward his spine. Now some people can just squat down right on the ground easily. Others of us need to get started at various degrees. So I'm going to show you a few possibilities. Okay, so there's a squat. You can hang out in that shape.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you just relax there, even just kind of let your arms fall through a little bit, just relax. That's a very easy version of a supported squat in a chair. And if he had just had a knee injury or something like that, there's no pressure on his knees. He's got some support behind his back and he's starting to bring his femurs in. Okay, find little things you can sit on. And I found that at some garage sale. Good. So it's lower than a chair, so already he's got more of an angle going here. He can relax in it. He could bring his legs out straighter if he wanted to for some change. Like if he brought one leg out and then the other, he could kind of stretch into various shapes. You could also lie down on your back and put your feet on the wall. This is for maybe another version of a squat, a horizontal version of a squat on your back. So bringing your knees all the way in. That's a squat. So you turn the wall into the floor and you can just relax there. And the nice thing is that you're getting a big stretch all the way from the lumbar spine into here. You feel a stretch in this? Mm-hmm. Great. Good, yeah. So there's a squat on the front. And again, femurs closer to the rib cage. And he's getting, in this case, because his knees are pretty wide, he's getting a stretch through the groin too, right? You feeling a little stretch in there?
Yes.
Yeah, but also in here. And you could play with, because each person's structure is unique, each person's hips articulate differently. Some people will find that they just can drop in and feel more, like they feel more comfortable in the stretch if their knees are closer together. Everyone's different. The angles are something you need to explore for yourself. So a lot of people, when they start to go into a squat, a vertical squat, their heels are in the air. That has nothing to do with how effective your squat is. It's just usually a function of the amount of angles that your ankles were comfortable with. So what I do is just suggest you put something under your heels to give you support. How's that feel?
Good.
Good. Can you relax there?
Yes.
So that's a really nice squat. His femur is close to his rib cage. This is all stretching. And he can just hang out. And your knees okay?
Yes.
Okay, but that's the kind of question you want to ask. If your knees are hurting, then we need to do something else. For some people, if he had said his knees were hurting, I might just take a little something, come up a little higher, okay, come back down, and put it under his buttocks so he had a little less pressure on the knees. Why don't you lean forward in this stuff so you still have your rib cage and your femur getting close together, even round and fall through. That's it. So there's a version of a squat and a good place to start. So if you have a couch, or if you have a really good friend who has a couch who doesn't mind you bringing your feet up on their couch, this is a really nice way to hang out. You could watch a movie like this. It's a really nice way to feel real supported. It's soft, and you can, again, bring those femurs in. And how do you feel?
Good.
Yeah? You can hang out like this a while?
I can hang out for
Could you watch a movie like this?
Yes, I can.
All right.
So sitting on steps is part way to working on your squat also. You've got your hips supported, so it's not a lot of, if you've got some knee issues, whatever, it's not a lot of stress on the knees, but again, it's opening up that hip joint there. Yeah. Then you add a lower back stretch, right? If you fall through.
What about this little teeny one down here, just with your heels?
Yeah, you could support your heels instead of having a rolled up blanket. Yeah, I always look for angles everywhere in the world for me to do squats easier. Any place I've seen an angle like a driveway or even a handicap ramp, as long as no one's using it, you want to be respectful.
But the beach.
The beach, obviously, yeah, right at the shoreline, a nice angle.
And at the beach, you can build up sand under your heels if you need it.
Yeah, right. You can dig your own little support. So one of my favorite places to practice my squat is against a wall or a gate or a fence, any structure that will push your torso forward. I usually need to support my heels when I do a squat, but by having something push you forward, it kind of acts the same way. And since there's walls and supports, pillars, just about everywhere, there's a good variation. Again, it's a little bit easier on the knees. And this is also a good pose for people that are basically shy. If you don't want to draw attention to yourself in public or whatever like that, you just kind of gravitate towards a wall and get a chance to work on your hips and stuff without attracting a lot of attention.
So we're born into a chair-sitting culture. So we sit like this, where our femurs, our thighs are at 90-degree angle to the spine. And then we walk around, we're kind of in this shape, and then we sit in a car, and then we walk around some more, and then we sit at a table or a desk, right? So this joint, these core joints of our hips, only ever go to part of what's possible, part of the range of motion. We just don't go there. We don't deepen this angle, which means that all of these deep tissues don't stretch. And over time, we lose the mobility. We lose the ability to go into these shapes. And we get tighter, more constricted. We have less mobile joints and suffer more pain, more back pain, more hip pain. In cultures where people hang out in this kind of a shape and get up and down all day long, they don't suffer from back pain, and the old people stay mobile for their whole lives. So we want to be cultivating this shape and working toward it. So maybe we start out just a bit like that, and we slowly, as we're able, are able to deepen this angle, and slowly the deep tissues along the spine into the hamstrings, the joints of the hips start to be put in this slow, steady traction, and regain more mobility. There's more energy flow through the core because it's less stiff and static, and we're able to regain lost ranges of motion, which feels so good.